Kaya.
Oh, live na. So, welcome to our weekly Uncaught exception mini presentation. So, we had a dry run last week. Yeah, karon kay magsugod na ta sa um, small presentation para lang to keep the consistency. So, this program is, or this um, program is hosted by Arnelle. And kung kita ganahan mo present lang mo. So, unsa mo ko itabi, Dad? Dad.
Okay na to, start na.
Okay, so sa mga natay usa diri na si Jante, so this might be a um an advanced topic for you. Sa uban diri kay murag kabaw naman mo ani. So basically mag-talk ta about authentication, third party authentication. And right now I'm gonna present specifically this Django OAuth Toolkit um, Django OAuth Toolkit na package for third-party authentication. So, kabaw man tanon na Django has its own built-in authentication, which is very fast and reliable. But some, some, tawagan na some situation calls for a third-party authentication para ang uban nimong apps or ma-centralize imuhang mga users and authentication. So for example, you have, let's say, online paint. Online paint. Pwede siguro ito din makakita. Pwede ba naman ako? Okay, so for example, nakay app dire, let's say, let's call it CSV, CSV assessor. So, tig-process ni siya og mga CSV files. Like for example, encryption, i-process niya ang data within the CSV. Also, naapod tayo, let's say, image. So, ang concept ani kay mura siya microservice, image processor. So, mo na siya ang lahi pa na siya na app. Then, third one, ato lang tangag ka third, is, let's say, mo na imohang back-end for API. So, we want this three apps nga ma-centralize iyang pag-login o log-out because di man nato pwede pwede na to i-replicate every authentication process between three apps, but then pwede man it's better man to centralize everything para kausara ta mo login o usara pod ato ang i-manage for login server. So, example natin login dere. So, diri na mosulod ato ang Django OAuth Toolkit. So, let's say, mo na hang SSO or let's say, identity provider. So, every authentication sa atong apps here, moagi na siya ani. Na atong client-facing na app, let's say, nata dere front-end stuff, front-end. Kay i-log in na to, diri na siya mo redirect. So, simple ra kay ni siya na kuan, but we will not go into deep kung unsa na ang mga flow ana like katong confidential, public, and OAuth 2. I think ma-search na. So, mainly ang focus na taron is kanina package. So, unsa ni siya na package? Kani siya, I think we can visualize this package as this one. So pwede ta ka set up og our own SSO or our own identity provider. Also, pwede sad siya mo act as handler pod to connect through this. So mao ni akong app. I made this two app way long before, like months ago or a month ago, just to just to show a proof of concept. So for example, let's see. So mo ni mo hang front end class. How do you say this? Imohang apps. Mo ni mong apps. Akong hindi. Mo ni kani siya. And our authentication server kay mo ni siya. So malagin ta, it redirects you to this server. Let's see. Ano ba ko account there? So sa katong naka try og implement og third party na SSO or murag T-cloak or katong mga identity servers kay murag nga ni iyang naong, di ba, like you can set unsa na permissions ang makuha sa app itself. So you can authorize and then there mobalik na pug ka. But then this should be, I wonder why it's not working right now. Let's see. Protected profile. Oh my god, it's not working. So basically, mao to siya ang flow mo-go na ta balik sa code. So to set up the server, so simple kuan ra siya, simple Django app ra siya. Imo ra to i-install ang Django OAuth Toolkit. Dayon set up ra ka og set up ra ka og login servers nimo, login page nimo para makita nimo ang iyahang like for example sign up this one, login page. So simple ra siya, like mo-create ka this is pwede ra man mag-create og unsa dayon sa imong server diri moadto ka sa Django admin. Built-in lang atong gigamit cause kapoy na og make og another pages for it. Imo ra register imong application. So naghimo ko diri og application. So ang kanin siya na application, ako rang gi-set up as confidential because ang communication niya between authorization kay server to server man. So anira ka login, client secret, you have the client secret. Ang grant type nimo authorization code, which is pretty basic. Ibutang nimo imong redirect URLs, na kay client ID. Ipa-zoom daw akong screen. Okay. So mao ni. Na kay client secret, which is pretty basic for everything. At the on sa grant type, pwede ka mag resource owner password base, but then authorization code is pretty much basic, confidential, user, any. Then you can add more redirect URLs for this. So yeah. You can also see access tokens na provide niya to different applications. You can see also the grants. Wala na the grants. There's also refresh token. And yep, that's it. Any question? For more reference, you can visit Django OAuth Toolkit implementation to dig deep. So ang installation niya kay simple ra kayo. You can make a tutorials for make a provider in a minute. Oh, let's check for the consumers kay para so basically what I did is nikuha ako sa server-based URL, which is this one. And then let's see. So I made a custom provider. Mao ni siya ang if nakagamit man ta sa Python social auth no kay like if mo implement ta o dili niya supported kay mo create po tag something like this. So this is part of the process na asa siya mo extract of data. So I think this is part of the access token which is in GWT form na tagaan lang tagway para to extract common fields or something like that. So yeah, mao na. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Hello? Hello? Hello, guys? Question pay.
Another question.
Bisag mga chichiburitsi.
Sa Django OAuth.
Jared. Question.
Lara.
Or dili ka siya ko ano? Basin dili ka siya kung sa tawag na interesting. Basically, namin mga apps na out of the box more. Kanin siya kay bare bone kanin siya for our SSO. For example, let's say if you want full-blown app, there's Keep, which is a very good service for our SSO. And daghan na po siya og what do you call this? Features daan. Good. Ano si Dad? Ano?
Yo, naara ko. Anyone has questions? Wala.
Wala na sila question.
Okay, that's it. Thanks, Kevin, for sharing about Django OAuth.
Ito magandang laro mo po. Saan ka nun?
I don't know. Hey? Anyone else? Eman? Pao?
Wala. Sige siya ang Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, so if no one else, then I think I can also. So,
Sige. Ikaw lang sa akin.
let's see. Pang-cover ba? Share screen. Sharing screen now. Application window, the entire screen. Okay.
Mag-off ng cam.
Okay. So, hi everyone. So for this one, basically what I want to share is about tanang
Ooh.
making Oh, dili siya mao. Basically, what I'd like to share is, making like websites work offline using Workbox. So, also di ako kita about earlier. uh, so basically, naka-website like this, for example, and then imo siya let's say imo siya i-offline from DevTools. So normally nga mo makita, right? So no internet, remote. So basically what I'll try to share is kung paano siya pag-work offline. So normally this is done using service workers. I mean, yeah, this is still going to be done using service workers. But there's a really cool library for it called Workbox. So Workbox kay kanang ipasimple na lang niya sa akong paggamit og service workers para easier na lang mag-cache and everything para work offline mo apps. So how to use it? So, for example, mo na itong HTML na code, like wala ra ni anything special nga project, like wala any frameworks or anything, like HTML sa JavaScript na dito siya. So let's try to make it, so pwede rin mo ignore on the rest of the HTML. So let's try to make it kanang work offline. So first thing mo kailangan is to have a service worker. So service worker kay JavaScript file lang na siya, mag-run in the background, even though closing page, possible na mag-run na siya. And na siya yung chance na maka-intercept o request. So for example, na see mong page kaya mo load siya o image, then ma-intercept na siya service worker, then maka-decide si service worker if i-serve niya from like the internet or i-serve niya from a local na cached na version. So first things first, kaya kailangan tayo service worker. So kahit na tayo yung file, pwede na ito unlike anything we want. So normally ako siyang tawag swd.js. And then after that, kailangan nato siya i-register sa page. So normally, if naka-JavaScript file, imo naman na i-script as RC, like index.js, diba? But since service worker, mag-run siya separately on a different browser thread or wherever. So, kailangan naman siya, dahil siya way pag-register. So kailangan naman yung script. And then ang way pag-register of service worker is by calling navigator.serviceworker.register. And then ang URL sa service worker na file. So buhatan na ni browser is ini-run ano niya, yan na i-download ang service worker and i-run in the background. So not all browsers can support for service worker, so make sure nga i-run na nga to siya if supported na siya nga API. So check na nga to first. So more na siya to kailangan for this part. So without doing anything, empty lang na siya nga file. Let's try to refresh the page. So, you see nga na-load a service worker. And to verify nga na siya is pwede ka mo check sa application tab. And then, sa service workers na sidebar. Okay. So, sometimes mo take siya Google ang service workers tab specifically. So, we can verify nga, okay, there are service worker na file, nag-run na siya. So here, active and running. So now let's start doing actual stuff sa service worker. So first, if kailangan mo gamit ang Workbox, so dali pwede ka mag-write of any like service worker related code, but with Workbox you don't have to. So first thing we need to do is i-import na to ang Workbox na library. So our import scripts mo ni if sa HTML pa niya code mo siya ang script tag ni mo na src na URL to the other scripts. So let's import service worker. So mana yung URL, search yun mo sa URL service worker. And then,
Dads, nakita imuhang code editor. If
really?
nag-try kag write a code, yes.
Okay. Wait, let me try to share again. How about now? Okay na. Makita na.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Sige. So moving on. So import scripts to load the Workbox na library. And then after that, So in order para mo-work ang atong site offline, kailangan nga everything atong kailangan sa atong site kay naka-crash na to siya offline. So that would be, so sa may itong gipanggamit ani nga site. So ang HTML itself, ang CSS files, do ka book, and then for images, so kailangan to sila i-cache beforehand. So ato na siya i-cache using Workbox. So kanina Workbox na variable, available na siya for importing use. And then caching dot cache and route. And napasahan na ito siya array of URLs. So normally work like this. So sa pa ubang index and fonts.css, fonts.css. Okay, wrong URL. Copy na lang ako. Copy the address. So naa siya sa fonts na folder. And then images, image 1, JPEG, and 2, 3, 4. I think mo na siya. So, mo na siya. So, try na to refresh balik. So, refresh na to balik ang page. So, since naman tayo i-edit sa service worker na file, mo update siya automatically. So, you can see dili nga na-download niya ang new version but then wala pa niya gigamit. So, kaya maghulat pa niya siya nga like ma-close ang mga tabs na naggamit sa old one before niya i-activate ang next one. So, try na to close balik, localhost, open na to balik ang page. So, here, okay, loading na siya. Okay, wala sa takadjot guys. Okay, here, makita na natin nga, okay, ang newest version na nag-run. And to verify, so diba itong debug is di-cache na ito di sila resources. Ma-verify na ito from here sa sidebar. And then na-ay new cache storage na storage. So ma-check na ito, okay, dara ang HTML file, dara ang CSS file, for images, and the other CSS file. So we can, so now nga cache na sila, kaya ito balik offline and mag-yap na siya. So offline, or even though wala ako, so even if ako i-stop to serve, shutdown ako sa server, so marker ko na siya even if offline. So because everything kay naka-cache na sa service worker, so that's one way nga ma-power mo yung site offline. Do you have any questions? Stop sharing.
Naka question.
Oh.
Para at least maka-question lang ko. Makaka siya o kanang API results?
Yes. So makaka-siya any HTTP request response. Generally, di lang ka makash og like post na request, but forget na request makash nimo whatever you want.
Also nakakita. Wala ko kabante, but then na-way na TTL siya.
Yes. So so with Workbox kay everything kay kanang as in share screen ko balik ha. Share screen. Share screen. So with Workbox na duha ka way pag cache. Ang first is pre-caching, meaning i-cache mo daan tanan sa sugod pa lang. Ang second way is using runtime caching. So cache ka as makita nimo ang mga requests. So try sa na to. So ang TTL kay work na siya with as far as I know work na siya with like the runtime caching or dynamic caching. So asa sa siyang buhaton kadali. So routing, that first route. Let's say ang images lang. So di lang na to i-cache ang images theory. Di lang to i-pre-cache, hindi na to i-cache beforehand. Pero i-cache na to sila every time makita na to every time i-fetch ang images. So say all JPEG images kay cache runtime caching na to. So natin natin different caching strategies. Let's say cache first. So I think ignore. Shucks, work on secure ignore. Never mind. Sagdi na lang. So, ato sa ni-try nga work ang runtime caching before na ko answer mo question tel. So, here's na ito ang cache first, sure. Refresh. Oops, offline pa niya. Dili dahil down there ang server. See, crash. So muna yung pasabot og offline caching. I mean runtime caching. So ang ato nang makache is wala pa ang images. After i-refresh na to, wala pa sa gihapon. Wala. Register lang. Register lang. Cache first. Wala pa din update ko run service worker. Okay lang nito siya. Dara sa lahat nga cache ang run. So dara makita ang runtime cache na URLs kay lahat ang mabutanganan. So to answer the question about TTLs, every time mo gamit ka og caching strategies like this, so either cache first or network first, kaya na siya option na mag-support plugins. And then sa Workbox na siya provided na plugins daan. One of them is Workbox.expiration na plugin. And then na siya option na max age seconds, I think. So let's say, butang ta 10 seconds lang ang max age sa mga items sa cache. So for all JPEG files. So try na to na balik. Refresh. So install niya ang new service worker kay nag-edit man nato. So pwede natin i-close ang tab or balik. Pwede sila to skip waiting para i-force na i-activate siya. And let's say ato sa ni i-delete tanan para sure. Okay, so refresh. Narin ko nalimutan. Para mo gamit ang expiration plugin, kailangan try custom ng cache name. So let's just call it image cache. Since i-edit na itong service worker, kailangan na set na ito siya i-activate balik. Okay, so na sila ang images na ito na sa image cache. So remember nga 10 seconds sila expiration, right? So wala sa tag mga 10 seconds. Maybe 10 seconds na rin.
1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
Okay, so 10 seconds. So refresh na akong page. Or let's say, navigate ko to another page, mabalik ko ani, except nga usar ka buong page na ko ani, so ako na refresh. So refresh. So makita ni mo nga, si Workbox na mo take care of pag-check sa mga TTLs. So makakita siya nga, okay, 4 items sa cache, kay expired na. So iyang i-delete sa cache. So wala na sila diri sa cache. So muna siya. So another option other than like TTL or like time, pwede ka mag-max entries. Para let's say butang ta two items lang entries dahil max entries. So at most 2 items lang per ang nasa cache. Wala pa na maukay, mag-update pang service worker. So balik ka sa cache. Refresh na to. You see nga i-delete ang least recently used na item sa cache. So refresh na to balik. So kato naman sa 3 or 4 ang least used, ilisan ka niya. So ulit niya sila. So make sure niya nga 2 lang yun per me. Depende sa mga config. So, any questions? Stop na ko share screen.
Mao na to akong question. Mao na to akong question. O ba, na yung mga question? Naman. Sige ako sa Grey's Anatomy. Pau.
Okay.
Ikaw, Faye.
Gamitin na ko niya.
Now, question.
Yes.
So service workers, it's very useful for caching, like for example, static files. So, unsay common known best practice or best practice for like doing versions, like for example, you deploy version 1 of your website, and then obviously none of the static files most often wouldn't change until you deploy the next version, say version 1.01. So you wouldn't really it wouldn't I would say it might be good that you don't let the cache like static files expire, but
Mm.
if you do that, what's common practice on or best practice for like when you how to handle when you deploy a new version of the app? Of course, those caches needs to be invalidated in some way to get the new
Yeah.
version. So how is it usually done, or is there any like
Yes, there's actually
recommended strategy?
yes, there are actually recommended ways to do it. So I'll say that share dito ko balik sa akong screen, but focus sa code. So let me format my code again ha. Kaya sa mukha sa prettier. Okay, so kani. So usually so as I mentioned, so service workers. Okay, so we're using Workbox as an example, pero you can do this without Workbox gapon, although mo take lang yung daghan kayo nga code. So Workbox makes it easier to like do this kind of recommended nga practices. But with service workers, there are two ways of caching, diba? So one is pre-caching, wherein imo na i-cache ta ang tanan. So kanang mga pre-cache na resources, usually dili na ka magbutang og expiration for them because ikaw may mag-control which like resources ang imo i-pre-cache daan. But with runtime caching, kay diha naman good like as mag-navigate ka sa page, magsige siya add sa cache. So mo na siya ang one thing that could get like out of hand very easily kaya magsige siya add sa cache. So diri sa runtime caching useful ang mga expiration or like TTLs. But with pre-caching, kaya if kinakailangan i-store ang fonts, hindi mo na siya i-remove sa pre-cache, okay na siya. So that's it. So that's one for like in terms of expiration and like TTLs and stuff. Another one is with versioning sa imong pre-cache na resources. So actually, kani siya nga thing akong show right now, which is array lang of URLs. So actually deprecated na siya nga format. So let's just convert, para ako lang yung kay mas sayon i-display. So let's just convert it to the recommended na format, which is naka-URL, and then URL itself, and then na-share revision na numbers or whatever you want. Let's say V1, and then repeat na lang sa nako. That's us. And, okay, let's say kana lang sa. So with this revision, so ma-control so for example the first time nga na-cache ang resources, of course kanang the service worker will kanang cache both of these, and then let's say na-release ka sa mo site like v2.1 whatever, and then na-change lang gyud ang CSS file, then what you have to do kay of course mausab ang content ani, so imo na siya i-change to like v2, and the next time na mo open sa mo site makita niya ang download, ma-update na ang service worker. So Workbox will automatically take care of kanang smartly checking nga okay, D1 pa ang HTML page. So same ra gyapon ni siya, dili na ako siya i-cache balik. But since index.css kay nagito na siya, which is like a version sa cache na ko currently, so si index.css na ang iyahang i-update pod. So now in this case pod, since na-remove tong fonts.css nga naa ganina, ma-detect na sa ni Workbox na okay, wala na nag-pre-cache, yan na pod na i-remove automatically. So that's how kanang Workbox handles kanang versioning sad with pre-cached na resources. So for pre-cached na resources, which is those resources na i-cache mo daan sa beginning, that is controlled by the revision in pre-cache nimo. And for like dynamically or like at runtime nga gi-cache na resources, you usually control them using expiration plugin and like TTLs. So kaning mga revision diri usually if magamit kag tools like Webpack or Gulp, pwede na siya ma-automatically generate based on like hashes sa imuhang output files sa imong Webpack na build. So if di ka ganahan mag-manually type ani nila. So yeah, that's did that answer your question, Eman?
Yes, that answers my question. Thank you.
Stop sharing screen. Anyone else has questions? Uy,
Sana yung mga question.
Okay. So I guess,
Balik na ko.
okay, so I guess if wala na yung questions, other people, okay, that's it for today. Kev?
Sa ganahan mo present next week. You are welcome to present anything. Bisagon sa as long as technical siya.
Yeah. So again, to repeat sa info ang gingon ni Kevin pag so good. So we will try to do this regularly every week. So right now schedule is every Saturday 9 p.m. So anyone can join, welcome to share whatever you want. So right now kay say kami sa Kevin. Next week probably any one of you may anything interesting so you want to share. We're here to listen. So that's it. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining. See you next week.
See you next week. Same time.
Basta nana ni si Faye sunod i-present.
Kev, the outros, like
I've been going over
yes,
this.
subscribe, whatever. Okay.
So
Ending
nada
broadcast
ni
na.
live na ni on YouTube. So if you wanna go back sa mga topics, you can just visit Uncaught. Kasi YouTube channel.
Uncaught exception.
Uncaught.
Okay. Ano yan ang
Make
broadcast?
sure to
Bye.
like, subscribe.